What's up? Honor Hammer 26. I'm ready to give you my year-end awards for professional wrestling in the year 2009. There are a lot of categories, so let me just get right into it. Alright. Wrestler of the Year, this is Kenta, no doubt. I mean, the level of four-star matches or more he has had is unbelievable. I mean, this is kind of a runaway, in my opinion. I mean, the only one who's close is Davey Richards. I mean, Kenta just tore it up this year. I mean, really, you could even say without Kenta that Davey Richards wouldn't be where he's at right now, because Davey Richards' first amazing match was with Kenta. Show of the Year, I'm going to give you Glory by Honor 8, the final countdown from Ring of Honor. Basically, this show was the final show for Bryan Danielson and Nigel McGuinness, and basically just was an all-around amazing, amazing show. Better than any other show I can think of this year. And basically, there's no flaw in the show at all, in my opinion. I mean, everything had a purpose, no filler. I mean, and there's all types of wrestling on. There's brutal hardcore wrestling, there's pure wrestling, there's a comedy match on there's tag team wrestling, just all around amazing show. Glory by Honor at the final countdown. Best TV show or weekly TV show, it would be ROH on HDNet. SmackDown was a close second, but I feel that ROH on HDNet had more quality of matches on it. Basically, it only had been on TV since late March, but the quality of wrestling is second to none on this show. I mean, you're having match of the year candidates on this show. I mean, you had three great matches between Tyler Black and Bryan Danielson. You had two four-ways, which were amazing. You had a tag team tables match, which was great. You had Chris Hero and Kenta tear it up. I mean, you just had second to none on this show, ROH and HDNet, and it looks very, very bright for 2010 on the show, because they have been getting better. I mean, ROH and HDNet really was just a preview for Ring of Honor, but now it's incorporating storylines, and it's just getting very, very good. And with Jim Cornette on it, I don't see them stopping anytime soon. Match of the Year, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels in WrestleMania 25. Just an all-around amazing match, and this is the best match this year. Close second being Kenta and Nakajima from Noah. But I feel this match is just better, and I remember watching this match live and just marking out like crazy for it. And this might be the last 5-star match that The Undertaker or Shawn Michaels ever has, so this is just... Shawn Michaels had the best match at WrestleMania 25 and WrestleMania 10, so this is just an awesome, awesome, awesome job from both these guys, and just... I think this is the second straight year where a WWE match was my favorite one of the year. Marufuji and Kenta won last year. Sorry. But this is the second amazing match at WrestleMania in a row for Shawn Michaels. Best mic skills, this goes no doubt to Austin Aries. I mean, he is just so... He can control the crowd so much on the mic. I mean, since... what's that show? Contention, in which I was at live, he has not had a promo that was not amazing. He has just been on fire since then. I mean, not that he wasn't before, but it's just been so noticeable since then that Austin Aries has just been awesome and has a great, great, great character, and it's just showing it, and it just gives him the chance to be great on the mic. Feud of the Year, I was going between Rey and Jericho, Hardy and Punk, and Kenta Nakajima. Really, that's more of a rivalry, not a feud. So I went with American Wolves versus Steen and Generico. The blow-off was that. Glory by Honor at the final countdown, and the Ladder War 2. Just these guys did not have a match that was not great together. I mean, Most of Your Madness was a great match. 7th Anniversary Show was awesome. Matt Mayhem was awesome. HDNet was awesome. Singles matches they had together, Never Say Die was awesome, and then the Feud Ender was the best match that they had. So that was your basic feud, and it was very awesome. I loved it. Which leads me into Tag Team of the Year, which is the American Wolves, one of those two tag teams. Just basically, they had so many 4-star matches this year, which made it funny. Close second being the Young Bucks, even though the Young Bucks had more matches and more promotions, like they had a 4-star match in Chikara. They had a 4-star match at least in PWG, Chikara, and ROH, and maybe even in Dragon Gate. But American Wolves just tore up this year, and just the American Wolves, from where they were at the beginning of the year, where they were even looked at as a good tag team, and now they're considered one of the 2 best in the world. I got to give them Tag Team of the Year for that. Most Improved, this is a first TNA winner of my awards. I'm giving this to Brutus Magnus. From where he was at the beginning of the year to where he is now is just amazing for Brutus Magnus. He came in TNA in the beginning of the year. I think it was at the Against All Odds pay-per-view. Don't quote me on that. But Brutus Magnus was basically just an all-around, not that good. I mean, they said he was coming in from the American Gladiators in the UK, where they used him and Matt Morgan in the same light. and he just wasn't that good. Then he came back as a part of the British invasion and just improved so much with the help of Doug Williams. I mean, Doug Williams is maybe the most underrated wrestler. He didn't win most underrated for this year, but he is just, Doug Williams is a very, very good wrestler, and probably my second favorite British wrestler, on behind Nigel. Well, I like William Regal too, and Pac, but definitely one of the most underrated wrestlers in Doug Williams. Helped Bruce Magnus out a lot here. Promo of the year, I'm giving to CM Punk and Night of Champions. What else do you need to say here? I mean, CM Punk just tore it up this year. I mean, the one little period he had between Extreme Rules and SummerSlam was just flawless, and I thought he was the best in the world at some point during the year, maybe even surpassing Kenta and how awesome he was. And it was around the Night of Champions time. But promotion of the year, this was a little iffy between Ring of Honor, Chikara, PWG, and Pro Wrestling No. I decided to give it to Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor, from the beginning of the year to where they are now, did the most to get their name out there. And basically, they're flying on TV. They have not had a bad show this year. They've had some ones that were just okay. They have not had a bad show this year at all. Pro Wrestling Guerrilla was consistent, but they had one show that was just absolutely terrible. And they not had a match that was over 4.5. It was barely 4.5 at that. Chikara was good, but really didn't have anything that made me just speechless like Ring of Honor did. And Pro Wrestling Noah, I mean, they had some great matches, but and with Misawa passing, I mean, they were my second choice, but Ring of Honor just did more in my opinion. Best technical wrestler this year, I'm giving to Bryan Danielson. He still has it. I mean, he's won it. I think Dave Meltzer gave it to him since '04. I'm going to give it to him again here. I mean, Nigel was a close second. Davey Richards, William Regal were all good choices. But Danielson, I think, just had better technical wrestling matches this year. And Nigel's just starting in TNA now, having good technical wrestling matches when Bryan's been doing it the entire year. Shocker of the year, I still can't believe this. When Mitsuharu Misawa is gone, I still can't believe that to this day. So that's definitely shock of the year. I still remember that day when I got home from the Manassas event when I found out, or when I woke up that morning, I still can't believe it today. Most overrated, Sheamus. What more do I need to say? He's the champion, and I don't watch Raw, and I'm completely uninterested in the WWE title picture because of this. Most underrated, I'm giving it to Ted DiBiase Jr. He is not looked upon all that great because he's not getting pushed right now for whatever reason. He is very, very good. He's been good since his days in Japan when he had a great match against Kenta, which some of you might not know. But Teddy DiBiase Jr. needs to turn face and needs to be pushed because he is very, very good. Best high-flying wrestler, it was a tie between the two Young Bucks, and basically the tiebreaker was Nick Jackson was in that four-way in Chikara, so I'm going to give this to him. Basically the Young Bucks are the two best high flyers in the business. Kota Ibushi and Helios were also in the running in my opinion, but I needed to give it to one of the two Young Bucks. So I decided to give it to Nick. And plus, Matt's a little bigger, and Nick's a little smaller, so he needs to use his high-flying more. Best Brawler, I gave to Chris Hero. Not going to butcher really in the running because he really hasn't had many good brawling matches this year. Eddie Kingston was my second choice. But Chris Hero has just adopted to have such a great brawling style, and basically, with the help of Eddie Kingston, became such a better brawler with this feud in Ring of Honor. So I'm giving this to Chris Hero. Best TV announcer, I'm going to give to Mike Hogwood. JR really wasn't on all that much this year. Matt Striker was good, but from where he was, he really didn't improve at all this year. I mean, he improved somewhat, but not as much as Hogwood did. Like Hogwood, you can hear him at the beginning of HDNet was just okay, but he's evolved in such a great commentator. He's doing an awesome job now on HDNet, and coming from where he does the basketball and football, he's came in and done a great job, and I appreciate it. Promoter or Booker of the Year, I'm giving to Kerry Silken from Ring of Honor. He really tries to thank every single person that comes to the show and say thank you. I mean, he does such a good job with business. It is very apparent if you've ever gone to a Ring of Honor show. And you just have a fun time at the show. And you can tell he's into it and trying to meet fans and trying to make sure everybody's having a good time. And he just does a very good job with the company. I mean, and he's not afraid to tell you it like it is. I mean, honestly, I showed him a picture on my phone I took with him last time in Manassas, and he told me, "Ooh, sorry, you better not put that as your background because it's kind of scary." So he's just a very nice person, and does a very good job as the owner of Ring of Honor. And Best Wrestling Maneuver this year, I was going to give it to Bang for Your Buck, but I decided to give it to the Go Flasher by Go Shiozaki. He's just using that move so well in Noah. It's not even funny. He's just been on a tear this year. I mean, I don't know why. He didn't have a chance to go back to ROH this year and show how awesome he was, but Go Shiozaki was just amazing. And these are my awards. Give me your thoughts on them. I didn't want to do MMA in here only because I didn't think it was fair to some of it, or else UFC would have won Promotion of the Year. Alright, I'll see you guys later.